6 figures in 2 months with virtual event challenges. There's something specific you got to hear on What's up, FlowChat fam? Chris here, CEO and co-founder of FlowChat, bringing you real entrepreneurs getting real results. I emphasize that for a reason, because not all content are really focused on that. We want to find the entrepreneurs that are doing real things in the front lines and unpack what is happening, what is the structure, the deal structure, what's the time frame, what are the workflows, how big is their team, all these type of details. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe you watching and listening to this are in the same boat where that's actually interesting to you. That's what this is designed for. And for today, getting real results, unpacking virtual event challenges specifically. There's things to do and a lot of things not to do. I want to speed up your learning curve. I'm excited to ask some personal questions around some of our process today, and there's no one better to do that with other than Mike. How's it going, Mike?
What's going on, Chris?
Dude,
How's your day going?
Awesome. Now that I get to hang out with you, I got some questions for you, Mike.
Let's go. Shoot.
Can we just be honest for a second here? I mean, a lot of these like interview type of, settings is really so we can just learn what we want to learn. Right? Is it not? It's not like, oh, I'm going to do this show so I can have the cool people I want to talk to just, tell me all the cool stuff I want to know. And everyone listening, watching, you get to benefit from this as well. This is where we're going. We got 6 figures in 2 months using virtual event challenges. We like to jump into it. Let's unpack that. That's a particular use case. Let's start with average ticket. Are you using challenges to sell how much? Is it low ticket? Is it high ticket? Where are we at?
Low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket. We do all three.
Okay.
It's an average ticket in between, $997 all the way up to $35,000.
Up to 35. Okay. All the way up to a higher ticket in that range. I'm sure, do all the challenges that you do look the same for those different price points?
No, they don't. Low ticket's like a pop-up day challenge. Those are low ticket. Your mid ticket anywhere between, 5,000 to 10,000. That's a 3-day challenge. 10,000 and up is a 5-day challenge.
Got it. So there's this pattern of the lower the ticket, the shorter the time frame, and the higher the ticket, the longer the time frame. All right, if we could, let's walk through. I want to go through kind of each of those day challenges, what's happening during those days, but are these challenges free or are they paid?
No, they're free. Free to come into the challenge, right?
Everyone's welcome. Come hang out.
Everyone's welcome.
Here's what you're going to get, and everyone's excited.
Exactly. But I mean, you want to make sure that you're going after your target market when you're running a challenge, right? You just don't want everybody.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So maybe you have the bouncer of the club, kind of like spot checking and filtering a little bit, but outside of that, people are welcome to come in. Let's start with the low ticket stuff. Like one day, what happens in a day? Is that like, am I sitting, on Zoom for 8 hours, in different sessions, or how are we running these things?
No. You're not sitting on a Zoom for 8 hours. You're sitting in a Zoom for maybe an hour to 3 hours, depending on how much information that you want to give out, depending on what that offer is, so on and so forth. Like with our CRM, like we take you through a process of pain, heartache, and what entrepreneurs are going through right now, right? Most entrepreneurs have like 7-8 different pieces of software all tied together with Zapier, and then we go through that, and then we show them the beauty of having one system for all of your marketing needs and all your CRM needs. So, right, that's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then boom, we sell the CRM.
Got it. Okay. That's cool. So 1 to 3 hours definitely sounds doable, reasonable. If I hear more of them, I don't think people are going to stay for that much. But I'd imagine in the core, what is the psychology of those 1 to 3 hours? Go ahead.
The psychology is, so we don't want to take up a whole lot of people's time, right? But we want to cram as much value and information that we can in those 1 to 3 hours. And just really kind of hammer home like what we are providing. And not only that, we like to give at least like 30, 45 minutes for Q&A, right? Because when you're going through these events and you're talking to people, and especially like when you have really large crowds, right? So sometimes, we hop in and we have 100 people in our pop-up group for the 1 day event.
Mm,
Are we going to be able to talk to every single one of those 100 people? No.
no.
So we have coaches on that call, and then we break everybody up into breakout rooms and do
Breakout
Q&A.
rooms.
Yep. That way, so that's one of the reasons why like it takes a little bit, but you're not sitting on Zoom just like for like 3 hours. You know what I mean?
I hope anyone listening, watching is also hearing what I'm hearing you say, because I think that's one like huge, differentiator. Hopefully there's someone seeing this and like, oh yeah, of course you do it that way. Personally, we haven't been running challenges on the front end of FlowChat of our offer. I think that's a huge takeaway. Go into breakout rooms, because
Yeah.
once I mean, personal experience, like once we get to about like 35 to 45 people, once you start going beyond that in a Zoom environment, there seems to be kind of like it's just a different feel. I'm not saying it's bad. It depends on what your goal is, but it's a different feel. So 100 people plus, I mean, that'd be great to have more attention, right? And you have some coaches ready going out into breakout sessions. Love that tip. Thank you for sharing it. Let's
Yeah.
go
I
to,
mean,
oh, go ahead.
the reason why we do the breakout rooms is because we want to give everybody in there that comes. We want to be able to provide them value, not just another
Yeah.
not another online event. Like, oh yeah, I went to Growing Entrepreneurs online event. It was just one of the other ones that I went to. When you come in, regardless if you don't buy from us or not, we still want you to take something away from that event that you can implement and put into your business right now that will increase revenue in some form or fashion. So that's why we do the breakout rooms where we give you that one-on-one time with a coach, because most of our breakout rooms are only 10 to 15 people per coach. So there's that one-on-one where I can like really talk to you, not just like, oh, you had a question, cool, blah, 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 and then you're moving on to the next person. We don't like doing that. We believe in
You do it
providing
right.
value to people.
So some best practices in the structure of breakout room is, if I'm hearing you correctly, is actually listen and care. Am
Yeah,
I
of
okay?
course. If you don't listen and care to your clients or potential clients, then you're in the wrong space. You need to go get a 9 to 5.
It might be a short-lived business adventure. Yeah, there's no shortcuts. No, so definitely respect that. So let's go to a like 2 to 3 day event. We'll
Okay,
call it 3 day event.
3 day.
That's mid-ticket. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, mid-ticket 3 day event. You're on Zoom with us for about an hour, hour and a half a day. We're not going to keep you longer than that, just because it really doesn't make no sense to do that. First 2 days, you're providing value. You're going over your offer and everything like that. Again, that last day, you're giving that one-on-one attention. You're putting people in the breakout rooms. You're having your coaches talk to them, hearing what they're saying. And not only that, it gives everybody else in the room a chance to hear what other entrepreneurs are doing. And
Yeah.
it may spark, if me and you are in a room and we're sitting here talking about what we're doing, you may hear me say something and you'll be like, I'm going to do that in my business. I think that would help me.
Yeah.
So regardless, right, if you didn't buy from us, regardless, when you come to that event, you get to hear other entrepreneurs, what they're doing, and you still take away value from it. Because I believe number one, community is everything. I think you get more value from a community than you do anything.
There's definitely something to that. We'll call it that mastermind effect, right?
Yeah.
Where, wow, that was a really good question. I wasn't thinking about that, but yeah, I'm totally gonna go do that. In another value is, I think, in that environment that I was kind of hearing you say is, but I was seeing in my head, if you're at an event and you see somebody get up and like walk to the table or like take action or like do something, not just hear, but also see them doing.
Hmm.
There's kind of like that same effect in the group setting if someone's asking that certain question or like, anyway. So that's awesome. 1 to 3 hours a day, 3 days for average ticket. I'd like to, now that we're like medium ticket,
Hmm.
typically calls become more a part of the process. Is there pre-screening discovery call before event? Is there sales call after event? Where does that fit into the process?
So at the before the event happens, you get on a strategy session. with one of our coaches, and we talk to them, and it's really a pre-qualifying call, because when you're doing a 3-day event, you really don't want people that are really not there to take action in a sense of the word, right?
Yeah.
We do care about people and everything like that. We have a business to run too, so we want people there that are going to take action, and they're going to get value out of it. So yeah, there's definitely a strategy call before the
Okay.
event, and then on day one, we're asking people to fill out an application. Um, to eat before the event even happens.
Okay.
If you don't fill out the application, then you can't come back, basically. Um, so, and then the sales call, and the sales call kind of happens throughout the whole thing. People
Yep.
end up, especially with the breakout rooms, people end up start selling themselves and each other. It's beautiful to watch.
Do you condone this? You like this or you don't like this?
I do. I mean, it's like, well, I've got to do the same thing he did. So yeah, let me go ahead and buy two. And then
Okay.
after we follow up with people who didn't take action and do sales calls after that.
Okay. I like it. So you have a call before and after. What are some of the bigger differences between doing a 3-day event and a 5-day event? Because I think there might be somebody listening thinking like, I'm mid-ticket or I'm high ticket. That's one way of qualifying the amount of days. Maybe it's like,
Mhm.
well, I'm mid-ticket, but I just like there's more information, or training that I could really give or provide. 5-day might fit better for me. What are some of the differences that they should think about between the 3 or 5-day?
Sure. The only reason why we mid ticket for us is the 5-day or the 3-day, excuse me, is we've kind of got this down to a science at this point. And this is what we do for our clients. Like if they come in and they buy the done for you with us. Like we do all this stuff for them. We lay everything out. We host everything. Like we do everything for the client. All they have to do is go and present. We help them define their offer, refine it, help them with their sales process. We help them with everything from A to Z. But 5-day for us is, we are talking about our done for you offer. So we feel like the 5-day is there's a lot of information in there to unpack.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the 5-day. Our mid package is done with you. So that's a 3-day challenge, and there's still a lot of information to unpack. But like I said, we've kind of got that down to a science. The main thing is, listen, I've noticed this about a lot of entrepreneurs. They like to give so much information to people. And then when
Yeah.
you're sitting in a Zoom, right, if you are giving them a ton of information and overwhelming them, their eyes are just going to glaze over and
You got
I'm
the
out.
glazed donut look.
Yeah, like I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely that mental, emotional overwhelm. If I'm hearing a couple of things that you were saying, you're mentioning we, like, well, we have our 5-day challenge, we have our da da da. Are you running multiple challenges?
Of course.
Is
Yeah.
this is this the is this the challenge stack, like their value ladder,
Oh
challenge? Is
yeah,
it?
of course, right? So it's great. It works great. So the 1-day challenge, that's our CRM. You come in, we provide a ton of value for you with our CRM. You're making money. Are you making 6 figures? No. I mean, if you hustle your butt off, then yeah, possibly on a 1-day challenge. But we give you so much value, and you're like, hey, I really like what you guys are doing. What's the next step? Hey, come to our 3-day challenge. We'll show you. Boom, we get them into the 3-day challenge. We provide a ton of value there, and they make some good money there, and then they come to the 5-day challenge, and then boom, that's when they're making. We've This is not typical results, so please don't take this as
Disclaimer.
but we've had a client make 6 figures in 7 days off of the challenge.
Wow,
So
7 days. Where was that for the headline, Mike?
yeah,
I'm just like,
because we're realistic.
Yeah, so it's good to know that it's possible, and it's because you're doing one to many. You have multiple people in an environment. You're doing group sale, and it's indoctrination over days, right? And
Mhm.
curation over days. And so I mean, look, we all could have fantastic client results if we filtered a lot more on the front end. Fair? It's like you bring on those excellent, awesome clients, and it's like, you know, they're just gonna win. There's just those people that are just gonna win anyway. So yeah, but it's important that you're still having the cases of, hey, 6 figures in 7 days or 2 months, because it's a group setting, it's a mass volume play, which brings us into how often do we do these?
So we do a pop-up challenge every week. We do a 3-day every other week, and then we do a 5-day once a month.
Ooh, okay. Weekly, what is that? Bi-monthly and monthly. I don't know if I
Yeah,
said that right, but that's a
yeah,
cool
something
flow.
like that.
But yeah. So and you're, oh my gosh, you have to have systems for that
Oh, of course.
because
Yeah, we have. I mean, you have to think our CRM that we have built out has over 600 automations just in the CRM, and that's all challenge geared. So, like when you sign up with Growing Entrepreneur to do your own challenges, you get all of this stuff. You get what we have spent a year and a half, almost 2 years building, and
let's
you
have a
just get
moment
it.
of silence for the operator that built the 600 automate for respect. Like that's a lot, man. That's a ton.
Yeah. So
Um,
I'm
these are
sure you're
emails, these
familiar
are
with
text messages. This is
email,
ringless
text
voice message
message,
or voice message. This
funnels,
is funnel.
everything. Everything, and it's really a paint by numbers program. Like literally, like you just get in there, you fill out the information, and everything is populated for you, and you're ready to rock.
Okay, so let's talk about time of implementation, right? Let's talk about like asset list, meaning, okay, I got to record because we got to make a page. Great. Well, I got to record a video. I got to so like it's time of implementation. What's a typical time frame?
Realistically, if you don't have logos and you don't have videos filmed and everything like that, realistically a week. If you have your videos filmed already about your offer and who you are, and you have logos and everything like that, 24 hours, 48 hours.
Yeah, yeah, that's fast. Um, like
Because
how so I mean we have logos obviously, but it's like if we need to record a new videos, it's like here's I need you to make 3 videos. I need you to make 5 videos. You see how like granular I'm getting? Like
yeah,
how
sure.
because it's
So
easy
on
to
the
say, oh
funnel,
yeah, 2 days you're good, but we've all kind of like, okay, yeah, a month later and like
yeah,
18
of
videos,
course.
yeah. So
Well,
I'm trying to,
the great thing about our team is like once we get into that initial onboarding meeting, we find out who you are, what you're about, what your offer is, and if your offer is like, then we take some time with you and we refine it. Right? If we're getting into granular details, is that offer refinement. We want to look at your sales process. We want to look at all these things before we actually launch. But to get set up on the CRM and everything like that, that's quick. But actually, to launch your challenge, you're probably looking at like 2 to 3 weeks,
yeah, yeah,
um,
okay,
for sure. Because you know we want you to succeed. So we're not just going to be like, hey, yeah, you're ready to go. Like we want to look at everything in your business because we want to look at your marketing. So I'm the CMO, so I that's my portion. So I will literally go through your marketing with a fine tooth comb and be like, "Hey, you're good," or "Ooh, we've got some work to do."
yeah,
Scott, who you've had on the show, he's our operations guy, so he looks at all their systems, all their processes, because the last thing that we want to do is get into a challenge and you get into this challenge, you sign up like 10, 15, 20 people. Okay, well, how are you going to fulfill on that? Are we going to break your business? Because that's the last thing we want to do. Also, because you don't want to look like a jackass that oh, I just took everybody's money. I don't know how to fulfill on this. So,
yeah.
like, we literally, it's a business in a box. It really is. Like, we take it from marketing, sales, fulfillment, and retention, so on and so forth.
It makes more sense why some of the results are following. You do the real work, then real results happen.
Exactly.
Okay, you drop CMO there, which means marketing, which means traffic. How are we driving traffic to a challenge? Are you guys, is it organic? Is it paid? Is it both? What's your thought on that?
It's both. We do both. We do both organic and paid traffic. Depends on where you're at in your business. If you're coming in, you don't have a whole lot of ad spend, then we have a great organic system that we use.
Yes, you do.
Um, so we have a great organic system that we use for people to drive traffic to their funnels and everything like that. And then we also do paid ads. I mean, that's kind of my bread and butter. That's what I've done in my entrepreneur
Your
life.
maybe not your native language, your native tongue, but your secondary.
Yeah,
You've
no,
dabbled a little bit.
yeah. I mean, I've only spent like $26 million on Facebook ads. So.
But who's counting? No,
Yeah.
I'm having fun. I want people to know. I know you obviously, but I want others to know that you've spent a little bit of coin in paid ads. That said, I think what would be valuable for everyone listening, watching is on the paid side, driving traffic to the
Mhm.
challenge. Let's talk about CPA. Let's talk about CAC. Like what cost of lead. Like what are some of the KPIs that we ranges, dollar ranges we want to hit?
I'm usually averaging about $6 to $7 per lead
Okay.
to get into the challenge. Um,
Okay.
but my targeting is, I mean, it's
I'm
hard to
taking
it's
notes,
hard
by
to
the way.
sit here.
I'm taking notes, by the way.
It's hard for me to like tell someone, an entrepreneur that has really no experience in ad buying or has a little bit of experience in ad buying, like get on here and be like, yeah, you can get $7 a lead. Unless you've been running ads, this is what you do. This is this like the back of your hand. You're
Yeah.
not going to get those kind of results. We
Yeah.
will help you do those, of course, but don't expect like if you are running ads on your own, I would probably expect you to spend $25 $30 a lead.
$25 a lead?
Yeah,
Wow. Like that's a lot high. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot higher than 6 to 7. Okay. So I
yeah.
was like, okay, if you're not pro, you don't know what you're doing, maybe like 15, 20 bucks. $25 are high. Okay. That's per lead. Curious on the back end how things are converting, right? So there's a lead. How many, you get 100 leads, how many are gonna attend?
I mean, so let's take the law of averages, right? So you get 100 leads, you're probably looking at like 40 to 50% show rate. And then out of that, you're looking at, we have great salespeople and, same with we implement ourselves into our client stuff too. So, they're converting out of those 40 people, they're converting roughly about 30 to 35% of those people.
Okay. I mean, because at that point, like they've been with you for a while. It's like, oh, 20% close rate. It's like, nah, like they've been curated, they've been hanging out. There's like all these micro yeses and commitments. Like I'd hope it's at least above a 50% conversion. Okay, so that's good to hear. So I mean, even being more conservative, you're saying like 30, right? So that's like closer to
Well, hold on.
75%.
Let me ask you a question. Are we talking about like the 5 day challenge? Are we talking about the three? Are we
That's
talking about
fair.
the one?
That's fair. I mean, let's do all of them. Let's start with high
So,
ticket.
so high ticket, we're at about a 5 to 6x ROAS, and we spend about $1,000 per campaign.
Okay, okay. 5, 6 rows, and then on mid, close rate team is that.
So 5 day challenge, we're at a 35% close rate. Mid challenge, we're roughly about 40 to 45. And then when we get down to that 1 day challenge, we're at like a 65, 70% conversion.
65, 70%. Okay.
So
I wanted. Go ahead.
we all know low ticket is super easy to convert.
That's awesome. So if you're listening to this, I mean, can we give Mike a hand for crying out loud? I've been grilling him with numbers. I've been grilling him with process. I'm doing my best here, ladies and gentlemen, to pull the numbers out of them, the structure, so that we can hear these things we can implement in our business. Mike, before we wrap here, is there any like question you're like, I wish somebody would have told me this about freaking challenges, Chris? Is there a thing there for you?
I wish I would have known about challenges earlier,
I
early
agree.
in my entrepreneur
It's
days.
a hard word to say. It's
Yeah,
even harder to
I
be
wish
one.
I would have learned about it earlier in my entrepreneur days, because I could have made a ton of more money.
Why
And
is
that's
that?
just being honest, because I would have had way more at bats, right? I could get all these people in one room and tell them what I do and how I could help them, instead of, like, especially when I started my business, right? Because after I left Alex Hermosi, I started my own um, marketing agency, and so I was grinding my face off, call after call after call, and then still had to do all the fulfillment on the back end too. If I would have known about a challenge, like, hey, I'm doing a 3-day challenge, I do lead gen, this is what I do, come in and everybody sit and I'll sell you right then and there, I could have made so much more money, and I would have had way more time to fulfill on the back end.
Yeah, I totally agree. Mike, I appreciate you coming out and spitting gold and sharing value for the audience today. And everyone else listening and watching, we appreciate your time and your attention. We don't take it lightly here at FlowChat. We want to bring you the real results from the real entrepreneurs actually in the field doing the thing so that you can too. And you can expect more content like that here, and we're excited to see you the next time. Take care.